And now, please welcome APTA President and CEO, Paul Skatelis.
On Saturday, this weekend, we lost an operator from the Heart System in Tampa after a very tragic incident on board one of the buses. This devastating act is just a reminder again of the critical service that our frontline employees provide to communities across the country, and quite frankly, the difficult jobs they often have to do. Please join me in a moment of silence as we offer our deeply felt thoughts and prayers to the family and friends of the bus operator, as well as to all of our Heart colleagues. So please join me in a moment of silence. Thank you. Thank you very much. Again, our thoughts are with our friends in Tampa and at Heart, and of course, we've reached out to them offering whatever assistance that we can provide as an industry. Well, welcome here to Louisville. It's great to be here. How exciting it is to kick off this Mobility Conference 2019. I will tell you we've got an impressive turnout, over 1,000 attendees for the meeting. We've got 130 displays and around 450 that are registered for the bus rodeo. These are higher numbers than last year, and we're really, really pleased with those that turn out and to be here in this wonderful city. As you know, we've rebranded what was known as the Bus Conference for many years, and we've named this the Mobility Conference. We did this to better reflect all the advances and innovations and the imaginative thinking that's going on in our industry across the country. It is you that are making Americans more mobile in large and small communities, and that's why we're here this week to advance mobility in new ways. We've packed a lot of valuable content into the next 3 days, so it's time to get right into the content and the program today. I want to jump in and recognize our host agency, the Transit Authority, River City, known as TARC, which is the largest public transit agency in Kentucky, carrying 15 million passengers annually. This morning, Ferdinand Risco Jr., TARC's Executive Director, will be addressing us. And let me just say that the warmth and the hospitality has been evident from the start. When I got off the airplane, went down to baggage claim, and there were TARC employees, smiles on their faces, welcoming us here to this city. Ferdinand, that's just the beginning. It was the beginning, and we have had just a marvelous weekend as we went through our committee meetings getting ready for the start today. Ferdinand is a graduate of Leadership APTA. We're proud to say that. He's a member of APTA's Board of Directors, and he's chairman of the Workforce Development Committee. Ferdinand has been extraordinarily active with his committee work, again, providing that leadership that we need from all of you as practitioners in our business and in our industry that does help make a difference. So please, help me welcome to the podium Ferdinand Risco Jr.
Paul, thank you so much. Well, welcome to the 2019 APTA Mobility Conference, and welcome to Louisville, Kentucky. I'm Ferdinand Risco. I am Ferdinand Risco, and I am the Executive Director of the Transit Authority of River City. And on behalf of my team of 661, we'd like to welcome you to our city. We're happy to have you as our guest, and not only here to Louisville, but to the greater Louisville region that we serve. A little bit about the place that you'll be spending the next few days as you're out exploring. We serve a historic region born of a legacy satisfying transit needs. Separated by the Ohio River, a major transportation and trading route, the city of Louisville and Portland in Kentucky, and Jeffersonville and Clarksville and New Albany in Indiana were founded and grew as major hubs and trade routes for travelers coming ashore to transport goods and bypass the rapids of the Falls of the Ohio. So much of this region today is due to those early foundations. TARC values that legacy and continues to honor the rich history that has built this service region and strives to provide the best service for all of our customers across our 43 routes in 5 counties and 2 states. As TARC celebrates its 45th year of service this year, our future as a pioneer in this industry is stronger than ever. One of the most recent and groundbreaking efforts we have undertaken is our commitment to step beyond our identity as a transit company and redefine ourselves as a mobility solutions provider. In our pursuit to achieving mobility as a service, we have arrived at this pivotal point, and we are glad that you're here to help us in TARC's history to make a very crucial and significant progress in reaching that goal. I am happy to announce that this afternoon, TARC will officially announce the release of our Mobility as a Service app and Dynamic Trip Planner. These platforms will provide customers multiple options to choose from, covering their full trip from point A to point B, fully incorporating rideshare, bike share, scooters, and of course, TARC service. Today here at the Omni in Ballroom 8 on the second floor at 2 p.m., there will be a press conference, and we will make that announcement formally. We've asked our Mayor Fisher, to join us, and also our developer, Zed Digital, and some of our major mobility partners, Bird Scooter, Luvelo Bike, and also the Parking Authority of River City here in Kentucky. You all are invited to attend. Tomorrow, we'll have a full walkthrough of the demo app, and also that is here with our partner, Zed Digital. That's at 2:30 here in the Olmsted, and you're also welcome to attend that. You are now capable to download the app from the App Store to try it out. The next phase of this process will be to include integrated payment. And so whether your trip is 100% TARC reliant or whether it's just a piece of your larger mobility needs, you can plan, book, and pay for your trip all in one place, the TARC app. This is one of our most recent achievements, but not the only. Just this year, we finally moved beyond paper tickets and transferred to the new MyTARC card, our new electronic fare card system. Currently under construction is also our bus rapid transit system along our North and South Dixie Highway corridor, providing a valuable connection to the city's workforce from the Southwest Louisville to downtown, and that's set to go in just a couple of months. Recently, we began a comprehensive operations analysis known as a TARC Link, which will reshape the future of mobility in Louisville, access current service efficiencies, and offer a complete picture of our system from top to bottom, establishing both immediate and long-term goals to address the system for the next 5 to 20 years. We want to attract new customers and reverse the decline in ridership. Another recent achievement launched this year that the city is all proud of is our LouLift, our fare-free, all-electric service traveling throughout downtown and all of our major attractions to include the iconic Churchill Downs and back. Please take advantage of this service as you visit some of our city's great museums and attractions while visiting here, but you should also travel routes outside of just downtown. All conference attendees will receive a limited edition APTA Mobility Conference MyTARC card, which will allow you full free trips during the conference stay while you're here. Explore downtown, see what we have to offer, and be sure to visit the larger system at hand. It's a busy and exciting time at TARC. We have lots to go, lots to do, and lots more for you to see, and it's all just around the corner. At the core of every decision is to step and take our customers and make sure that we are providing the great customer experience that they deserve, making sure that every trip from where our customers are going to where they want to be, to make it more convenient, more productive, and most of all, more enjoyable. Our mission is to expand and implement transportation opportunities to enhance the social, economic, and environmental well-being of this service area. We're dedicated to that important role of moving the workforce of both today and tomorrow. Our team of 661 employees serves more than 55,000 folks every day, making it possible to travel 12.5 million miles and pick up more than 15 million passengers every year, 63% of which are going to work and another 20% to school. TARC is critical to this region, delivering both economic development and workforce development. You'll see many of the TARC and Louisville tourism representatives at each of your events. Please stop if you have any questions, request assistance, ask for local restaurants and attractions. We move the city, and we're here to serve you. Let's make this a great conference. Let's work together and learn a lot about what's going on around mobility, build mobility solutions, provide for our customers and the demand of our organizations. And with that, I would like to welcome you not only to TARC, but welcome you to Louisville, Kentucky. And now it is my pleasure to introduce the mayor of Louisville. Mayor Greg Fisher is in his third term as Louisville's 50th mayor. In 2016, surveyed by Politico, he was ranked as America's most innovative mayor. And in the following year, the Washington publication listed him as one of 11 most interesting mayors in the nation. Mayor Fisher is a longtime entrepreneur, starting several businesses, including ServVen International and Iceberg Ventures, a private investment firm. He also co-founded B Catalyst, the first business accelerator in Louisville. So it should not be any surprise that during his tenure as mayor, Louisville has added more than 80,000 jobs and 2,700 new businesses. Today, more than $13 billion in capital construction is planned or underway in our city. But Louisville is not only a strong financial standing right now, but it is also has a very great atmosphere. As proof, we've been named as the International Model City of Compassion 4 times. So please join me in welcoming Mayor Greg Fisher.
Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Louisville. Have you figured out how to say Louisville yet? That's 3 syllables. Lou-a-ville. Ready? Lou-a-ville. Louisville. That's pretty good. Most people struggle with that. Well, we really appreciate y'all coming to our city. I want to thank Barry Barker, our longtime director of TARC. I know, Barry, you worked a long time to get this convention here to our city. So we appreciate all of your great service over the years. Good job. Barry's had kind of like this rolling retirement tour that's been taking like 6 months or so. We named a street after him about a month ago. I think that was the exclamation point, so we appreciate you, Barry. Thank you so much. Hope y'all see Barry Barker Way while you're here in town. I know that you all have traveled throughout our city. When you think about global identity, Louisville's known for many things, but probably our top 3 would be Kentucky Derby, the most famous 2 minutes in sports. And I understand that you all normally get together the first Saturday or the first week in May. That would be difficult here in Louisville. These hotel rooms that you're staying in go for $2,000 a night during Derby weekend, 3-night minimum. So it really would blow your conference budget to do that during that. But it's a great time, I can tell you that. So come back. How about that? We'd love to have you. So it's the Kentucky Derby. And then there was a young man named Cassius Clay who was born at 3302 Grand Avenue, which is about 4 miles that way. And then, of course, later he's known as Muhammad Ali. And he's had a major impact on our city. We're a city of compassion, as Ferdinand spoke about. And by that, we mean respect for each and every one of our citizens so their full human potential is flourishing. Or as Thomas Merton would say, whose epiphany was right over here in 1958, you see people walking around shining like the sun, full of goodness and full of potential. And that can be difficult, but we know that we have to do that in order for our cities and our country to really reach our greatest aspiration. And Muhammad Ali was a great magician. And what he really did was he kind of tricked people. He used his platform as the greatest athlete of the 20th century, noted by Associated Press and Sports Illustrated, to transform to be the biggest, baddest humanitarian of all time with the work that he did with the United Nations. And he would say, Mayor, you're not going to be the heavyweight champion of the world, but you can help somebody today. And that was really his message. So I hope you all get a chance to go and see the Muhammad Ali Center. It's a couple blocks from here. So it's the Derby, it's Ali, and then it's this thing called bourbon or bourbonism. Bourbonism is the act of visiting Kentucky to enjoy our native spirit and our great local food scene. We're always a top 5 foodie city in the country. And so people now, like people go to Napa Valley for wine, they're coming here for bourbon and bourbon tourism. We've got about 25 new hotels in the past couple of years and more coming. And a critical fact that you all should leave here, because you're going to learn a lot of things while you're at this conference, but I'd like for you to remember one thing, and that is 95% of the world's bourbon comes from Kentucky, and the other 5% is counterfeit. Okay? So stay away from that. So I can tell you that efficient public transportation is a critical part of what this city needs, not only for our bourbonism tourists, but for people just coming and going here and there. You heard the stats from Ferdinand as well. We're really proud of our Lou Lift service. That's a circulator around town, electric buses, goes out to Churchill Downs and back. It has really changed a lot of people's view about what public transportation is, how it can be a great partner with our hospitality and tourism industry in our city. We're excited to get our first bus rapid transit system here in the coming year, running up and down Dixie Highway and then coming through downtown. And then Ferdinand noted the launch of our mobility app later today. Louisville is known as the most innovative city government in the country, so we're just delighted to see us doing that with all of our mobility options now. And I applaud you guys for really broadening the focus of your convention as well. It seems like there's something new coming on every day. I'm a little disappointed to see that tuk-tuks are not part of your mobility solution, because we're announcing tuk-tuks in our city as part of our bourbon tourism at 11:30 today at this hotel. So if you see these unusual looking devices running around town with bourbon tourists in it, those can be part of our mobility solution as well. Now, TARC has been doing a great job both here and across the city. Know that we are strong advocates with you all in terms of exhorting our administration in Washington for a serious response to the infrastructure needs of our country. We have an amazing nation in the United States of America, but the lack of investment that is taking place with our infrastructure, whether it be our roads, bridges, airports, fill in the blank, is just embarrassing for a country that calls ourselves the richest country on the face of the earth. You all have traveled to other countries. You see what they're doing. We need to get our act together here in America when it comes to infrastructure funding and many other things. So please advocate for common sense in Washington, D.C., and let's drop all this partisanship bickering that just seems to get in the way of us getting so many things done. It could be education, it could be healthcare, but infrastructure is just one of those, and it's just something that without loud voices from our industry partners, from citizens, and I'm not taking any partisan shots here, the deal is we have to work together to get things done. It's pretty fundamental. Imagine if your transit organizations worked like the federal government worked. Nothing get done. There'd be riots in our streets. So let's always work to get more and more things done with our federal partners and our state partners as well. Just last, I really do want to say thank you. Please come back to our city. And I want to give a hat tip to our bus operators. This is a tough job. You're supposed to be able to flawlessly drive a bus while being a security guard, while being a counselor to people, and an ambassador to the city. And it sounds like we lost one of our brothers here in Tampa over the weekend. So I know there's always a lot going on, but we know it's always important to stop and thank the people that have that most direct citizen-facing engagement. So I appreciate our maintenance people, our operators, and you guys. So thanks for visiting our great city, and we look forward to seeing you again. God bless. Have a great conference.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Next, we'll hear from Cleo Battle, the Executive Vice President of Louisville Tourism. Cleo has worked in hospitality industry for 34 years. He is both a certified destination management executive and a certified association sales executive. He serves on many boards here in the city, including those Meeting Planners International, the Kentucky Derby Museum, the Louisville Sports Commission, and the Louisville Zoo Foundation, please help me welcome Mr. Cleo Battle.
Well, good morning, APTA. Everyone excited to be here? Yeah. Hey, I work for Louisville Tourism, so we're the chief ambassadors here, so I've got to get you excited. Always, always, always tough to follow the mayor, but I'm going to do it anyway. So Louisville is honored to host your conference this week. Not only does public transportation enhance a community for residents and visitors, but hosting APTA stimulates the Louisville economy with an estimated economic impact of $2.3 million this week. But don't let that hold you back. I expect you to spend more money this week. Buy some bourbon. Come on, let's get this done. We understand how crucial public transportation is to a community, and Louisville Tourism appreciates our ongoing partnership with TARC. TARC is innovative in providing a key service with the LouLift circulator, which is our fare-free circulator targeting the 16.4 million visitors to Louisville annually. The LouLift moves our residents and our visitors around downtown, the New Lou and Old Louisville neighborhoods, and to some of my favorite attractions, and you've heard Ferdinand and the mayor speak of Churchill Downs, the Speed Art Museum, the Muhammad Ali, the Ali Center, and the Slugger Museum and Factory. But not only that, TARC is credited with maintaining the historic Union Station, which is a 128-year-old landmark and treasure in our community. So we appreciate the positive impact TARC is having on our tourism industry. We also appreciate each of you for what you're doing in our peer cities for tourism as well. But most of all, thank you all for being here in Louisville this week. I hope you have a great conference.
Thank you, Cleo. Finally, it is an absolute personal honor to recognize a leader who has helped transform Louisville. This is a man who has helped make many residents more mobile and has brought national acclaim to our city for public transportation. Barry Barker led the Transit Authority of River City from 1994 to 2018. Stop for a moment and think about how much public transit has advanced in those 24 years. He's been recognized nationally and locally as a team-based approach management style, customer service, and customer-focused always. Barry is a recent recipient of the prestigious Sharon D. Banks Award for Humanitarian Leadership in Transportation from the Transportation Research Board. He's been honored as by the Paralyzed Veterans of America and Easter Seals, the NAACP for advancing workplace diversity and accessibility in transportation, and as APTA named him one of the country's top transportation managers. He's a past member of APTA's board of directors and also served as vice chair of APTA's Sustainability Committee and is the immediate past chair of APTA's Legislative Committee. Earlier this year, Barry was inducted into the Kentucky Transportation Hall of Fame, and as the mayor mentioned, we had the honor of naming J. Barry Barker Boulevard at the corner of 10th and Broadway just outside of Union Station after him. I am grateful for all that he has done for Louisville, for TARC, and for me personally. I'm proud to call him a mentor and a friend. Ladies and gentlemen, please give Barry Barker a warm round of applause and welcome him to the stage.
To make them stop and stare as I zone out. The clock ain't even handle me right now.
All right, $5 is yours. I told the mayor that we're turning Barry Barker Boulevard into a toll facility. He didn't. How's everyone doing? Yeah, we finally got everybody convinced to move back a couple couple, 3 weeks from Derby. You know, we tried year after year to get him to move the Derby from the first Saturday. No one would listen to us, and it got to be dangerous, so APTA finally agreed to move. I look out, I see a lot of old friends, and I see friends that I haven't met yet. You're a great bunch of people. Give yourselves a round of applause, would you please? And I just want to acknowledge Ferdinand. It was easy to retire given that he was coming in. And we searched high and low and made sure we got the best for the job. It turned out to be Ferdinand. So I want to thank him very much. Self-proclaimed technology geek, right? And he's moving rapidly. And so part of it was I needed to get out of this guy's way and let him run full speed. And he's done a tremendous job at that. And listening to the mayor, right? You can talk about technology, you can talk about hardware, you can talk about everything else. But there's that softer side, that squishiness, right? It's about people. And only Louisville could pull off talking about the new bourbonism and compassion all in the same sentence, right? I mean, think about that for a minute, right? But the mayor and his emphasis on compassion has given folks who are directing city agencies permission, if you will, to go out there and be human, to not worry quite so much about the bottom line, or to understand that that bottom line and the performance indicators and so forth, yeah, are very important. But what are you doing for people? Right? And I appreciate that. Flip it over into some of our language, and it becomes the 3 pillars of sustainability, right? Of looking at environmental, economic, and social. And many of you know my particular focus, my particular interest is in the social side of what we do. The last course I took for my engineering degree was at the School of Applied Social Sciences, social work school. So, why do we do what we do, right? We do it to help people achieve their dreams, not merely survive, but to thrive. Please, don't leave anyone behind, or we can't afford to leave anyone behind. Talk about them as the unbanked or whatever, but these are people who are trying to put it together. We need to be there to help them. Thank you all for providing mobility, access, attainment, and thank you for keeping us all energized. Have a great conference.
Well, that was powerful. I want to thank the mayor for his remarks. Cleo, thank you. Barry and Ferdinand. Louisville is very, very fortunate to have a great leader, Barry, in you for 24 and a half years. That's remarkable. And then to pass the baton to another great leader, Ferdinand. So we're looking for great things to continue to come from Louisville and from TARC. And of course, Ferdinand, you've given us the heads up here. You got a big announcement, a formal one that's coming, but congratulations on that. That is a major, major step forward. Well, I think as we all recognize, conferences like this take a lot of planning. They do take resources. And the only possible way that we can deliver what we do to you is through the generous support of our sponsors. And this morning's opening general session is sponsored by one of APTA's most fortunate members who are loyal to the industry, loyal to APTA, and that's Proterra. We're honored to have with us the president and CEO of Proterra, Ryan Popple. Before joining Proterra, Ryan was senior director of finance for Tesla Motors. He also has served on the board of the Silicon Valley Leadership Group and concentrates on increasing access to affordable, sustainable transportation solutions throughout the Silicon Valley and the Bay Area. He's also a member of the Green Advisory Council of the California League of Conservation Voters. Ryan has served in the U.S. Army. He's received his bachelor's in business administration from the College of William and Mary and earned his MBA at Harvard. We're grateful he's with us this morning. Please join me in welcoming Ryan Popple.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to APTA 2019 in Louisville, Kentucky. Thinking back on the beginning of my Army career, actually the first base I was sent to was Fort Knox, which is right down the road from here. Fort Knox, I think, is still in a dry county, but thank goodness for me and my fellow soldiers, Louisville is not in a dry county. So we tried to do our best about 20 years ago to help the local economy. I also proposed to my wife in Louisville on a weekend off, and she said yes. So that was a good investment that was made about 19 years ago. So this city has a special place in my heart. I'm the CEO of Proterra. We're a leading innovator focused on electric bus technology. We want to especially welcome all of you to the conference and thank TARC for their hospitality. We also want to thank TARC for being an early adopter. They were one of the very first cities, agencies in the country to deploy battery electric buses. So they're an important part of the journey we're all on towards sustainability. And as more transit operations transition to battery electric vehicles, we've discovered that implementing and maintaining this new complex energy system introduces a whole new set of challenges and upfront costs that we never had to deal with in the past. And at Proterra, we take ownership of having to innovate through those challenges, and we're excited today to introduce Proterra Energy Fleet Solutions, a comprehensive offering to simplify and expedite the transition to electric vehicle technology and the accompanying energy ecosystem. To date, we've helped 45 communities transition to electric bus technology as well as implement charging infrastructure, and we're proud to share the next phase of this comprehensive journey for all of you here today. Thank you.
Cities across North America are accelerating the transition to electric fleets. To achieve large-scale deployment, fleet operators need to implement a complex energy ecosystem. Proterra makes it easy for operators to scale their fleets with turnkey infrastructure services, including the source of energy, utility engagement, site preparation, charger installation, energy optimization, battery lifecycle management, and more. Proterra Energy Fleet Solutions enable customers to lower upfront costs, reduce risk, and simplify their transition to battery electric vehicles. Beginning with a high-fidelity route simulation and sophisticated fleet modeling, Proterra helps you choose the right vehicle, battery, and charging configuration to meet your route requirements. The Proterra team works with you to design and install the best infrastructure setup for your depot, managing the whole process from start to finish. And with Proterra charging systems, you can choose between overhead or plug-in chargers in a range of power levels to best fit your needs. Our team can even help you take advantage of renewable energy resources. Proterra Energy Fleet Solutions include services to optimize your charging to manage electricity demand and minimize costs. And with our industry-leading batteries built in Silicon Valley and vehicles with up to 660 kilowatt hours of onboard energy, Proterra provides you with the energy needed to meet your route requirements. With a pay-as-you-go financing model, you can pay for that energy storage and charging infrastructure over time, like you already do for energy, reducing your risk and upfront cost. Proterra Energy Fleet Solutions simplify your transition to an electric fleet.
Ryan, thank you. Very exciting to see the progress that's being made with electrification. We're grateful for your leadership and that of Proterra's ongoing support, and we're looking to good things continuing to come as you develop that technology even further. So here we are, start of our conference. Since we last met last year at the then bus conference, a lot has changed. I think we're at a very pivotal moment. Last year we were talking primarily about the things that were happening all around us, all around the industry, disruptions in the industry. And quite frankly, we're not alone, right? Disruptions are happening in every industry. But last year it was that focus, what's happening around us. And since last year, all of you have really gotten to work to do a lot of good things. Last year we talked about the transformational changes occurring in public transportation in nearly every other industry, including ours, and today we're at the center of that change. It's really all around us. In just the last 18 months, the transportation landscape has shifted. There are new technologies, there are new service providers, there's new thinking going on about our industry and how we need to reposition it. There's new impacts on our systems and business models. In the past several weeks, we've seen IPOs, Lyft and Uber, that will almost certainly alter the way that those companies operate, perhaps even changing their business models, or perhaps encouraging newer startups. Whether we're ready or not, the forces of change will continue. You can count on it. And they'll continue to accelerate. If we feel as that we're at a junction and at a certain point in time, we are. It's because we're at one of those rare moments in our industry's history between what we've always been good at doing, providing good, reliable service, but changing to what do we need to be great at going forward. Between what we've been and what we need to become, the questions we asked ourselves at last year's bus conference were, how will we lead this revolution in mobility? How will we lead our own evolution? The answers really in large measure are right here at this room and in this conference. A lot has changed in just the past year. Whether you're a public transportation agency, you're a supplier, you're a manufacturer, almost everyone in this room is doing something different, something new in some respect. Look around you. You're sitting among innovators from both the public and the private sectors. The world around us is changing, but more importantly than that, so are we. So is public transportation. Take APTA's newly published 2019 fact book, and if you've not had a chance to know about that publication or look at the newest version, please do so. It's important because it tells a very positive story and is evidence of the changes that are happening in our industry. You know, today we lead the way with more than half of the US bus fleet fueled by alternative fuels, CNG, LNG, hybrid electrics, and now fully electric buses. That is the trend, electrification. And strides are being made in communities to move to those electric fleets in a very quick fashion. Systems are making public transit safer, and they're making more attractive to use. A greater number of our agencies are adopting mobile ticketing, passenger amenities of all kinds, pilot projects, autonomous vehicle testing, a willingness to experiment and to advance our industry, and providing new best practices to meet the evolving needs of our customers and of our communities. We're seeing bus rapid transit taking on a whole much more important role. Microtransit, redesigning of our best networks, reimagining the way we offer those services, the expansion of more effective, demand-responsive trips. These are the communities where ridership is beginning to grow, and we're seeing those numbers turn around. And we're forging partnerships with other service providers, which shows that we're growing more and more comfortable and more successful in the role of a mobility manager. We're understanding that it's not just about operating and maintaining assets, it's about delivering service. It's about providing information and coordination to provide those service offerings in a much more broader way than we've ever had before. You have embraced and led the progress that our industry is making, and APTA is right there with you in stride. Since just the last bus conference, we've implemented and advanced many of our industry priorities to better serve you, to better serve our industry agencies, our business members, and our customers. What are some of the things that we've done? We've expanded an already assertive advocacy campaign, which helped us to win 2 consecutive years of record federal funding levels for public transit. We're fighting hard for national infrastructure investment, a solvent highway trust fund, and FAST Act reauthorization. These are all current activities that we're really aggressively pushing. On just May the 8th, earlier this month, our business members conducted a Washington fly-in to meet with members of Congress, and our Small Operations Committee is planning its own fly-in on the 4th of June. The importance here is that they need to hear from us. Congress needs to understand the critical importance of what we do. Our public members and our business members make compelling cases, but they're different messages by and large. Our agencies talk about what they're doing with the investment dollars that come through the federal funding and the local funding, how they're using those dollars to improve service. Our business members are talking about the jobs they're helping to create all around the country with facilities and improvements that they're making. We've created at APTA a one-stop shop dubbed APTA U. It's a one-stop educational, professional development, and career workforce development effort for resources available to you to support a highly skilled and knowledge-based labor force. we've established something I'm very, very proud of, and that is the Mobility Innovation Hub. It's taking your successes, your experiences, and providing them on an online portal so that they'll be available to you at any time so you can get the best practices that are happening around the country. Share yours, not just the practices, but materials that will be helpful to you as you move forward and make your decisions about different service and different ways to partner. Contracts, for example, templates that you can use. We've expanded our efforts to educate the media, the public, policymakers and opinion leaders learning about the unique benefits that only public transit can deliver. Let me say that again. We occupy a very unique space. It's only public transit that can move the numbers of people we're talking about as quickly in an urban setting. The only one. No other technology can do that. And of course, we just completed last month our first National Get On Board Day as just one example of that outreach to convey those messages. On the 25th of April, more than 250 agencies and organizations hosted a wide range of activities to show our support for our industry and for our association. The day generated lots of social and traditional media in 27 states, including Washington, D.C., and on the national stage. The result? APTA and its membership, its diverse membership, together are writing the next chapter of America's mobility future. That's what we're doing. We're simply not carrying on as we've been. We're building on that. And together we're forging a new direction and a new way of delivering public transit. There's a growing realization that public transit is at the core of an integrated multimodal lifestyle. We're important to the communities that we serve, and we're seeing that evidence every day in the decisions that companies are making, where they locate, where people want to be, where the young generation chooses to be. They choose to be in vital, exciting, vibrant communities. That's where transit flourishes. We're innovating how we operate and how we serve the public. We're investing in our industry, both public resources and private funding. Innovation and investment. These are two factors that are proof that our public transportation industry has a very bright and important future. When we gather for our next mobility conference a year from now, I'm confident that we'll be talking about new innovations, new ideas that have surfaced, that have been implemented all across the country. I'm confident that what lies ahead for us all in this new mobility area is an exciting one with lots of promise. Thank you for what you do. Don't take for what you do as just a matter of circumstance. We are providing a vital, vital service to the communities that we serve. Communities are counting on us to help shape their future, to help make them more vital, more prosperous, and in turn, to make sure that we're serving that public, that rider every day in the best fashion that we can. Thank you all for what you do. Thanks for the good work that you're accomplishing. Enjoy this conference. There's lots to be shared here, and that depends on us to share it with one another. Thank you once again for being here. Well, it's now my pleasure to introduce to you a gentleman who took the reins of APTA just last fall as our APTA chair. David Stackrow comes to us with a long history of involvement in public transit, having served for 22 years as a board member and chair in Albany for the Capital District Transportation Authority. He is a breath of fresh air in terms of the perspective that he brings as a board member, understanding the importance of governance for transit, but the importance of improving transit as a system. And David, as you know personally, has taken the reins of delivering and advancing our new strategic plan, which we're looking to complete sometime this fall. So he's put his personal attention to that. Not a small feat, since in addition to his duties at the transit agency, he owns his own CPA firm and is very busy in his own right to make sure that he earns his family the right living that they deserve. So David, we thank you for your service, and please come forward with your remarks. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Paul, and good morning. Well, Paul noted that we are in a room full of innovators and creative leaders, and that is absolutely true. To demonstrate that, I want to recognize some of our members who are doing amazing transformational work. Let's start with the Champaign-Urbana Mass Transit District, the first in the nation to place a commercial order for 60-foot articulated hydrogen fuel cell buses. That agency is planning to develop the needed infrastructure for these zero-emission vehicles, and the buses are expected to be rolling on the University of Illinois campus by next year. The Port Authority in Pittsburgh is modernizing its T stations and bus centers to be more customer-focused. Through its citizen outreach efforts, the Port Authority is updating the county's public transit system while making sure that the people it serves can continue to live in places with great transit service. Indigo has decided to build a new, vibrant core system for its bus network. It is utilizing new transportation modes like rideshare and bike shares to serve residents beyond a comfortable walking distance from transit. Residents have become more accustomed to using a variety of transportation services, and local governments are working more closely with all service providers. The Orange County Transportation Authority launched OC Flex, an on-demand microtransit service, as a pilot. This curb-to-curb service is available in 2 zones. It's also wheelchair accessible, open to individuals 13 years or older, and operated by transit professionals who have safety and sensitivity training. Cap Metro in Austin, Texas, will have 5 app-based on-demand transit zones by August, all focused on service to communities that aren't a good fit for high-capacity fixed-route service. It's simply called Pickup. The service is 100% wheelchair accessible, open to the general public, and run by highly trained Cap Metro vehicle operators. In Pinellas County, Florida, the Public Transportation Authority created the TD Late Shift program with private partners to help low-income residents travel to and from work when bus service is not available. Denver RTD recently entered into a collaboration with Uber and Masabi to become the first agency in the United States to sell tickets for public transit rides directly through a ride-hail app. RTC of Southern Nevada will launch a microtransit pilot next month. It's called, are you ready? Trip to Strip. This on-demand shared service will provide public transportation to key Las Vegas Strip destinations, including the resorts, airport, Las Vegas Convention Center, and all in style and without any surge pricing. Autonomous public transit vehicles are being tested in Las Vegas too, and also in Jacksonville, Florida, Denton County, Texas, Austin, Houston, Phoenix, California's Tri-Valley region, and Denver. And in the private sector, our business members are developing more technologically advanced, fuel-efficient, environmentally friendly, low-maintenance, and customer-friendly vehicles and equipment. I could go on for the remainder of this session with one example after another, but you get it. We are reimagining mobility and inventing new solutions. As a board member of the Capital District Transportation Authority in upstate New York, a growing bus and paratransit network that serves 4 counties in and around Albany, I'm excited by these stories, and they are inspiring to me. In the Capital Region, we have embarked on a microtransit pilot project that will help to connect some of our more suburban neighborhoods with our core system. Once implemented, we will have broader connectivity and another mobility option to serve the community. We will be in receipt of our first 4 electric buses into our fleet later this summer. And finally, we recently received $27 million in federal funds through the CIG program to help make our second BRT line a reality. The project is now fully funded, allowing us to move full speed ahead, further connecting the Capital Region. I want to take the opportunity to thank the FTA and all the staff for making the project a priority and for seeing the value to the Capital Region of upstate New York. Let's give all these systems and many others here today a big round of applause to show our pride in bus system innovation. Over the past year, we've heard a great deal about the new mobility future that we need to create and own. We've just heard examples of remarkable advances that are being made. But getting everyone to that place as an industry requires a plan, because a goal without a plan is nothing more than a wish. The Strategic Plan Steering Committee, which I chair, has been working for several months to develop a 3-year strategic plan for our organization. We've done a lot of listening. We've had many lively discussions with our members, our stakeholders, and APTA staff. After all, successful strategic planning is about the collective wisdom of an organization. Based on all that we've heard, we concluded that a single declaration of why we exist would help guide the new strategic plan. As a result, the APTA Board of Directors has approved the following purpose statement. APTA leads public transportation in a new mobility era, advocating to connect and build thriving communities. Every word of this new purpose statement has a precise meaning. We lead by being the voice of public transportation. We support the needs of transit agencies. We anticipate, prepare for, and understand the changes that are shaping the new mobility era. We advocate for public transportation's interests, and we champion our members' efforts to improve the quality of life in their communities. This purpose statement helped us to identify 4 strategic priorities: securing and growing public transit funding and resources, attracting and maintaining a skilled workforce, ensuring safe, secure, and resilient public transit systems, and leading and managing the changing mobility ecosystem. Now we're looking at ways to leverage our best tools and assets to address these priorities. This is all designed to provide a useful roadmap that brings greater clarity, direction, and focus to what APTA does, and helps our members to be more successful. When we meet in New York City in mid-October for our annual meeting, we expect to have completed the new strategic plan, including measurable goals and milestones. Let me emphasize this. APTA's 3-year strategic plan will have importance and lasting value for the entire public transit sector. Regardless of where any of us sit, we are one industry. We learn from each other's experiences, we are shaped by the same external forces, and we are becoming more vital to the communities that we serve. Public transportation has an exciting future, inspired by the work of members like you, and guided by a new strategic plan for success. Thank you for all you do to make us proud and for being here this week.